Hello, welcome back everybody. I am the Breadly Assassin. You found the Breadly Assassin YouTube channel. For those that follow the channel know that I took a week off and then I got sick and as you can tell, I apologize for the way I sound today as I'm still in the middle of this head cold or whatever we have going on. So I'm gonna sound funny, and you gotta excuse the sneezes and the coughs. Good. I told everyone I'd do everything I could to get back to streaming and get some information out to everyone. So here we are, and like I said, I do apologize for the for me being sick. But anyway, we are back. It's been almost a couple weeks, and I appreciate everyone being patient and sticking it out for during my absence. But we are back, and that's that. So I don't have a ton of information today. I thought I would try and keep it short because I'm still recovering, but like I said, I wanted to make sure everyone knew that I didn't leave. I was just I took a week and then I got sick, and it was just bad timing. So anyway, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's gonna be fine. So thanks everybody for taking your time to give us some views today, and welcome back everyone. So of course I had some things pulled up, and now Firefox seems to be crashing, so I might have to pull it up again. But basically, as you can see in the title, there was a pretty significant spike with Dogecoin about an hour or so ago. Excuse me. And it looked like, in my opinion, it looked like it was related to the news that Dogecoin had just broken a record for the most expensive excuse me, the most valuable, positive reaction, to the price of Dogecoin. And, that's fine. That's good. And then secondly, as you can see in the title there, I have El Salvador Volcano powered crypto mining. And for those I'm sure that have been following over the last week or so, have seen that El Salvador has filed and was approved, or at least amongst their own country, to have Bitcoin as a secondary like their official currency, and that all went through. But of course, within the last 24 hours, it seems that the minute it went through, the IMF, if I'm not mistaken, called like this an emergency meeting, and we're all up in arms, and it was this big problem and this and that. And that's honestly though, you guys are smart enough to know that was expected. The second that you give a community and or a group of people, and in this particular case an entire country, a little bit of freedom and a little bit of means to express themselves, and especially an alternate form of currency to better themselves, better the country, better the people, better the economy, and in the same instance, someone else is losing power and losing authority and losing the ability to control, they're not going to be happy. It happens with governments every day. It happens with institutions every day. It's the same thing we see all the time. I guess we can call it FUD, but at this level, it's a little bit different because you're basically liberating an entire country, and the IMF is at the same time losing the power they had. The governing agencies are losing the power they had, and when that happens, in my opinion, you're gonna have problems, and you know, you're gonna get the powers that be to unite and fight it, or throw FUD, or complain, or find something to do. They're not just gonna stand by and allow the people to succeed. Because the governing agencies lose their power, that means they lose their money, and yada yada yada. We've heard it all before, so it's very expected. I mean, unfortunate, but you're gonna see it. It's gonna happen. You know, because El Salvador was the first, the limelight's going to be on it. It's going to be all eyes on that story. But as more and more countries adopt cryptocurrencies and or Bitcoin, I think the revolt from the government and the revolt from the IMF is going to be less and less and less and less, because eventually you can't fight everyone. You know what I mean? My opinion. So also I changed the lighting and stuff on the stream, so it's gonna look a little bit different while I get that all straight. But thanks everybody, appreciate the kind words. Yeah, like I said right at the beginning of the stream, I'm gonna sound funny. I'm still sick and nasally and sinus infection and all kinds of crazy stuff. So just bear with me. Like I said, I'm just gonna get this information across. I'm not gonna stay on the stream all day, even though I genuinely want to, because I know it's been almost 2 weeks since I've spoken to everyone. But but I'm not in the best health. But anyway, so of course my all my news I had pulled up, Firefox crashed, so I'm gonna have to restart it. And everybody gives me a second. I'm gonna get that back up, so that way I can actually point out some of the news that I pulled on the topics that we are discussing today. Oh, look at Firefox to the rescue! It actually kept my tabs upon reset. Okay, so let's briefly touch on the coin market cap right now, ladies and gentlemen, so that we can look at where the market's at. Obviously, everyone knows it's down, so we're not gonna cry about it. But I do want to show one thing in regards to the coin market cap. So let's go ahead and pop on over to that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and let me see if I can fix some of this. Like I said, a lot of camera adjusting lately, so I apologize for the weirdness in the camera, but if I can get this at least kind of decent looking. Okay, let me I'm gonna go ahead and expand this little coin market cap right here so that I can actually read it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so look, I wanted to point out something real quick. We all know the market's down, right? That's nothing new, but you can see we're at a $1,557 billion market cap. Bitcoin's been flirting around with $37,000 for the last at least 5 days, maybe close to a week, give or take, you know, aside from that little dip flash thing we had going on. But 37K seems to be at least the where it's settling, I should say. Now, one thing I wanted to point out was, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is back up to almost 45%. It had broken down into the 30 percentile range. It was like at 39% or something a while back. I noticed that today that the alts are suffering a little bit in comparison to Bitcoin dominance, you know, with the Bitcoin dominance going up. And that's not unexpected, because of the I think the boost that Bitcoin had received recently in El Salvador, accepting, you know, or turning to Bitcoin as an alternate currency, or the national currency, or however you want to look at it. I think that actually helped Bitcoin in the short term. You know, the negativity from the IMF, as expected, like I said, probably kind of deflates some of that boost to Bitcoin, but I think that has a lot to do with why the Bitcoin dominance has gone up. Now, as we scroll down in the top 10, you can see Ethereum at $2,351. Binance coin at $3.46. Cardano down to $1.43. Cardano was one of the few coins that were holding very, very well against this dip. Now, of course, it's down right now, as everything else is. But ultimately, we know how we feel about Cardano here at the channel. And once all this starts to correct, I fully expect Cardano to be one of their premier coins in terms of profit gaining from now, at least until they introduce smart contracts in August. We also have Dogecoin at about 32 cents, XRP at 84 cents, Polkadot at $20.72, Uniswap at $21.70. And then some other coins that my number 2 long-term investment in the entire crypto space is Chainlink at $21.32. And my number 1 favorite long-term investment in all of the crypto space is Vechain, currently at 10 cents, 10.67 cents. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to pop into the mainstream so we can touch on that just a little bit more before we head into the news. Okay, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is our mainstream, the main channel where we highlight Dogecoin and the activity with Dogecoin. As you can see, that significant spike that we had recently. And like I said, I think that is a direct correlation to the announcement that Dogecoin, the Dogecoin meme of the iconic Shiba Inu, recently today broke the all-time high sales wise for NFTs, and it sold for about $4 million. And I'm going to show you guys, did I not say Doge? Sorry, Dogecoin is what I meant. Like I said, you got to excuse me today, but I'm gonna show you guys the article on that. But yeah, the Doge meme recently broke the record, I think a $4 million sale. And then you can see Bitcoin holding around 37K, which has been for the last few days. Cardano at $1.43, Vechain at about 10.5 cents, and Pop Network, who we also follow pretty significantly here at the Birdly Assassin YouTube channel, holding at just over half a penny. As you can see, 5.5 there. I've actually been loading up every chance I get, every bit of fiat, extra fiat I get, I should say. I've been loading up my Pop Network bags and finishing off my Vechain bags. No one likes to see the market down, but you do have to find positivity in times and situations like this. And ultimately, in truth, it is great buying opportunities. And I've touched on this a few weeks ago in some previous streams where you hear all the time, buy the dip and buy the dip, and this is a great buying opportunity, buy the dip. And I don't disagree with that at all, but the truth is, I don't know everyone's situation, but I'm assuming the majority of the people are in my situation, or at least similar to my situation. And look, I'm a working class guy. I work all the time. I have a family. I have a mortgage. I have car notes. I have, everything. And it's very difficult to have so much extra money, excuse me, just waiting to buy the dip. And for me in particular, which I'm assuming also is similar to a lot of people's situations, in order to just buy dips, like flat out buy dips and catch them at rock bottoms, you have to have your money already kind of like a cat waiting to pounce on its prey. You know what I'm saying? You would have already had to, like in my case, I use Coinbase, right? So you would have already had to deposit money, then wait the 5 or 6 days for it to clear, and then purchase whatever coin that you need to trade with. In my case, I typically use United States dollar Tether. I usually use Tether to buy my Vechain and or my Pop Network or whatever other coin I am purchasing. So you have to have all that taken care of, and if you're in a similar situation as I am, and then be patient enough, and I guess maybe even have the fortitude or be able to wait, for these dips to buy, and like I said before, for many months, ultimately, if you're buying now or if you bought in January, wherever it was, I invest for long term. So I have no intentions of selling my coins. I didn't buy in January to sell now, and I'm certainly not buying now to sell tomorrow. So what I'm trying to get at is, yes, we all want to buy the dips and get at the lowest point so we can get the most profit. But for me, buying a 9.9 cent Vechain in comparison to buying an 11 cent Vechain right now really isn't that big of a deal to me, because I want to hold my Vechain for a year, 2 or 3, to where we end up with, let's say $1 Vechain or even a $2 Vechain, depending on how long you hold it, and at that point, is 2 cents gonna significantly impact your decision? Probably not. And you probably wish you would have bought more during situations like this, even if you're, unless you're day trading of some sort or really maximizing profits and all that kind of stuff, which is fine too. It's just the way I do it, I basically buy and hold, and so like I was saying, you have to have all this stuff in order and already in place to be able to perfectly buy these dips. And then even still, you don't know how far the dip's going to go or that kind of stuff, whatever. So I'm going to tell you guys what I've been doing, and you can take it for what you want. Basically, in Vechain right now, where Vechain's been floating for the last few weeks, what I do is whenever I have some extra funds, I deposit it in my bank, and then I fund my Coinbase account, right? And then I patiently wait for it to to go through. You have a waiting period in Coinbase, as I'm sure you do on Binance and other exchanges. But like I said, I have to use Coinbase because I'm in the US. So what I do, I buy my coin, I let it go through, I buy my tether, okay, and then I send it to the exchange that I choose to use. Like in Vechain's case, I send it to KuCoin, and in Pop Network's case, I send it to like Probit, okay. So I'm very patient, and right now, with Vechain, I set my buy orders at 9.9 cents. I've been doing that since the significant dip, since we hit that 50% correction from 60,000, and we went down to around 31K or whatever it was. And Vechain had been like, it got all the way down to like 7 or 8 cents, but then back up to like 13 or 14 cents. And right now we're at 10 and a half. So you can see it fighting for like the 11 cent mark and the 10 cent mark. So look, I'll put it at 9.9 cents. And look, this is the way I think of it. If it hits 9.9 cents and my buy order fires off, well, great, because I have no problem buying at that amount, and I think it's a steal. Now, if it doesn't get down there and it continues to go up, well, then great, because then the remainder of my coin that I've been holding will start getting back to its all-time highs, or at least a little bit more respectable, in terms of the market. And for Pop Network, I do something very similar, you guys. I go through the same situation. I save what money I can. I send it to Coinbase. I buy my tether once the funds clear. Then I send my tether to Probit. And don't forget, Pop's also available now on Uniswap and MXC exchange. But I've been using Probit since it was the only place to buy it initially, Pop Network. So I just out of habit, I guess. So what I've been doing with Pop Network, you guys, I set a buy amount at 0.0045, so basically 4.5, just under half a penny, 0.0045. So I set my buy orders at that amount, and I have been doing that for the past month or so, since we've been in this correction. And same situation, I own a lot of Pop. I really believe in the project. Mr. Valerian Bennett is always giving updates. He went to the Bitcoin conference, and it's just a nice little project that has the potential to do something special over the next couple of years. It's a long-term thing. So look, I put my buy orders there, and it's the exact same situations. If it fires off, great. I feel I've just stolen more coins at less than half a penny. And if not, then my bags will continue to grow, and I'll make profit on what I have. You have to be very, very, very patient in times like this, because this is they say this is when millionaires are made, and I guess I'm not disagreeing with that statement, but the market's very uncertain right now and all over the place, a lot of FUD, and it's really difficult. These are the hardest times to buy, and these are the hardest times to hold tight and be patient and be positive, because everything's down. But in truth, when we were at 25 cents and the market was, you had a $60,000+ Bitcoin, and Vechain was at 25 cents. I mean, did you ever think you'd get a chance to buy it at 10 cents again? I didn't. But this is the way things go, and maybe you need to look at it that way, But okay, so that's kind of that. I just want to let everyone know exactly where I'm buying in at, the coins I'm buying right now, and what I'm trying to do. So that's that. Okay, so let's touch on the news. I think we waited long enough. Let's pop on over to the display capture, and I want everyone to see what the titles in my live stream is trying to explain to everybody. If I can fix my screen. Okay, display capture. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are with the little bit of news I have for today. This, I think, is what happened with that significant Dogecoin spike that we had earlier today, just about an hour and a half ago. As you can see, this is from NBCnews.com, so this is real information. It says, iconic Doge meme NFT breaks record, selling for $4 million. It says the meme of an excited Shiba Inu named Kabosu is officially the most expensive meme NFT ever sold. And you come down a little bit and it shows you that on Friday, the auction winner placed a winning bid of 1,696 Ethereum, worth approximately $4 million, according to the auction site Zora. Now let me pop on over back right here, because I want to touch on this too before we get into the remainder of the El Salvador news. Now look, that's $4 million today, ladies and gentlemen, and we saw that we were at a 4,000 plus Ethereum coin no less than a month ago or a month and a half ago, whatever it was. So ladies and gentlemen, once the market corrects, and I mean we're all fully expecting it to correct throughout the summer, I mean this can be an $8 million NFT very easily, right? Excuse me. So yeah, someone purchased the iconic Shiba Inu Dogecoin meme for $4 million today. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so back to some more news. Okay, you guys, I'm sure everyone that's been following crypto, this is probably the most prominent news that has come out in regards to Bitcoin and the crypto space in the last couple of weeks. And you can see here, it says, in a world first, El Salvador makes Bitcoin legal tender. Okay. We're going to come down and it says, I'm going to try and read this. Like I said, I'm still sick, so please forgive my the way I sound, but here we go. El Salvador becomes the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender after Congress on Wednesday approved President Nayib Bukele proposal to embrace the cryptocurrency, a move that delighted the currency's supporters. With 62 out of 84 possible votes, that's very significant. Lawmakers voted in favor of the move to create a law to adopt Bitcoin, despite concern about the potential impact on El Salvador's program with the International Monetary Fund. Okay. And I'm going to touch on that in a second too. Bukele, I don't know how to pronounce that, has touted the use of Bitcoin for its potential to help Salvadorians living abroad to send remittances back home, while saying the US dollar will also continue as legal tender. In practice, El Salvador does not have its own currency. It will bring financial inclusion, investment, tourism, innovation, and economic development for our country. The president said in a tweet shortly before the vote in Congress, which is controlled by his party and allies. Okay. Now, moving on, you can see here, this is super cool. It says El Salvador plans to use electricity generated from volcanoes to mine Bitcoin. This is pretty cool, you guys. The president of El Salvador announced Wednesday that the country's state-run geothermal energy utility would begin using power derived from volcanoes for Bitcoin mining. Okay? The announcement on social media came just hours after the Central American nation's Congress voted to make the cryptocurrency an acceptable legal tender. It says, I've just instructed the president of LAGOSV to put up a plan to offer facilities for Bitcoin mining with very cheap, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero emissions from our volcanoes. This is going to evolve fast. Bitcoin mining has taken a lot of heat for being harmful to the environment, since it requires massive amounts of electricity to power the computers that generate the invisible currency. I like how they said invisible currency. Somebody who wrote this article is a hater, I think. But excuse me. Boosters of the cryptocurrency say Bitcoin mining could lead to more renewable energy projects, such as the one being announced in El Salvador. Okay, so that's really cool. And then lastly, we have here, ladies and gentlemen, the IMF sees legal economic issues with El Salvador's Bitcoin move. And I touched on this at the beginning of the stream. Anytime you're basically giving a mass people, or a country in this case, freedom and or power to the people or anything like that, that means someone somewhere is losing power and losing control. And in this case, IMF and other governmenting agencies understand that this is the beginning of the end for a lot of situations and a lot of governing agencies, and they're gonna fight it and do what they can and throw FUD because ultimately, no one wants to lose power, in situations. But this is what happens. This is what happens, people. It says the International Monetary Fund said on Thursday it has economic and legal concerns regarding the move by El Salvador to make Bitcoin a parallel legal tender, further clouding the outlook for an IMF-backed program and widening spreads on the country's bonds. And basically what they're saying is, if y'all want to do this, we're not giving y'all any more money. Basically, if you want to put it in layman's terms, and it's basically a child pouting, is what this reads to me. Is, look, they're like, well, if you want to use Bitcoin, we're not giving y'all any more money, right? That's pretty much what these people are saying. El Salvador has become the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, with the president touting its use for its potential to help Salvadorians living abroad to send remittances back home, right? I mean, look, they have family trying to get funds back to their family in El Salvador, and this is a perfect way to do it. It's fast. It's the fees are almost negligible in comparison to attempting to get it through a bank or any other institution that is centralized, with all their fees and their timelines and their penalties and all that stuff. Adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender raises a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues that require very careful analysis. Yeah, basically they want their cut, and they don't want to give any more money, blah, 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 and they're just being babies. So IMF complaining that El Salvador is kind of letting their community and their country give them a little bit of freedom, a little bit of power in the people's hands. Governing agencies don't like that. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna catch up with a little bit of chat since we covered the Dogecoin NFT sale and the El Salvador situation a little bit. We also touched on what I'm doing right now during the market down in terms of Vechain and in terms of Pop Network and that sort of stuff. What I'm buying when I can, how I'm doing it, that sort of stuff. So let me. I'm going to go to live chat. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see if there's anything thrown my way that I have knowledge to today. Like I said, I took a week off and then I got sick. I'm still sick, and I'm trying my best to keep up with everything, but I am a little bit behind. So let me scroll up and I'll try and catch up. Let me see here. Welcome back, everybody. I recognize pretty much everyone here. I appreciate the views. Mr. Alex Bernard says, I bought Pop on Probit, but also moved it to my MetaMask wallet. Yes, that's where I hold my Probit. That's where I hold my Pop Network, my friend. I hold all of my Pop Network right now on MetaMask. I'm considering moving it to my Atomic wallet, but right now it's all on my MetaMask wallet. Hector the Dude says this is only the beginning. Billions of people don't understand yet. Yeah, that's another thing we get caught up with, ladies and gentlemen, in the fact that, and I touched on this before a lot, but this is how I feel, and I think a lot of people will relate to what I'm about to say. Everyone here is very, very, very early in crypto and blockchain technology. Like we're the entry people, even though it's been around a while. Or we feel it's been around a while. In terms of an industrial technology, we're new, okay? We're the beginners. But because we're here and because we focus on it so much, I can't speak for you guys, but look, I check my phone every 5 minutes, probably 1,000 times a day. I don't know. Are there 5,000 minutes in a day? Probably not, whatever. But I check it all the time. Okay. I have multiple computers set up. I'm watching all our coins. I'm watching Doge Finance. I'm watching Dogecoin. I'm watching Pop Network. I'm watching Vechain. I'm watching Bitcoin. I'm researching coins. I'm researching projects so that I can share the information. It consumes me. Okay. And I'm thinking a lot of people here are probably in a similar situation. So what happens is we get caught up in this, and this is our everyday. This is our everything. We are just consumed by it. Okay. So whenever you're involved that heavily and you're monitoring things that much, yes, this 1 month dip correction, whatever you want to call it, we've been in is significant and very, very punishing to our mentality, right? Like all we see is like, oh, it's down and it didn't go up today. Oh, what I'm going to do? I've been waiting 2 days for it to go up. But the truth is, this timeline we're living in, right? This brief period of us squishing all our time and attention into over the course of, like I said, Vechain, admittedly by Mr. Sonny Liu, who I talk to all the time, says that they're not expecting adoption for Vechain until 2025. Okay, so what if we hold our coins and be patient and wait for the target of 2025? Right? You think we're gonna remember May of 2021 when the market corrected 50%, when we could potentially be sitting at a $3 or $4 Vechain or whatever? I'm just guessing. I'm just using it as a really broad example. But you see what I mean? Like, to us that monitor this all the time and are always digging for news and late breaking information or anything positive we can get our hands on, the truth is, this is in the long term scheme of things, where we want to be in 2 years or 3 years or whatever with our investments now. I don't think that this is going to be as damning a time over the course of our entire investment future as it feels, as much as it feels it is right now. I'm looking for the words to give you a phrase or a quote, but I think you guys understand where I'm going. It's only because we're so entrenched in this market and are always just doing everything we can to get the latest news that it feels like we're stuck. You see what I'm saying? But put it this way, in June of 2022, everything's going to be completely different. Will it be for the better or for the worse? I don't know. I'm expecting for the better, because typically the longer you hold and the more the market works itself out, the better things get. I mean, that's how it's worked historically, but it's just hard to get through right now. So that's why I try and bring positivity and let everyone know what I'm doing. Like I said, I set my buy orders of 9.9 cents right now with Vechain. I set my buy orders of 4.0045 cents on Pop Network. And if they go off great, that means I feel I've got fantastic buys. And if they continue to go up and my buy orders don't get met, then that means that the current coin I'm holding is on its way back to where we would like it to be. So it's kind of a win-win if you want to look at it in that mentality, while the market's down. So yeah, also, I'm not going to discuss it on today's stream because I need to do some more research on it, and I don't want to misspeak on it. But excuse me. A lot of you guys and ladies that have been following the channel know that I'm obviously very involved in crypto and have been for a long time. And throughout the course of that time, the longer you're involved in something, the more avenues you discover and the more people you meet, whether it be just online, digitally, or however. Well, I'm in countless forums and countless chat rooms, countless I have subscribed to countless channels and whatever it may be, and I'm also joined on many Telegrams. Telegrams is a great chat program, not to mention many Discords and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm very I speak often to the moderators in the Pop Network channel because I'm one of the few YouTubers that publicly discuss Pop Network and let everyone know how I feel about it, and also bring the information and news to the public, in relation to Pop Network. So the moderators are very open and send me a lot of news and information and stuff. And what's good about that is that means when I relay information in regards to Pop Network, it's normally directly from them, and it's not just rumors and that sort of stuff. Also, I don't know how much everyone monitors the coin like I do, but about a week ago, Pop Network was supposed to launch on Big One exchange, and it didn't happen. And that wasn't Pop Network's fault. Basically, with Big One is out of China, it's an Asian market exchange. It's huge, but with all the regulatory issues and stuff they're having, my understanding is, and what was explained to me, is that they kind of held back on a lot of listings that they had lined up for themselves in this immediate period, and are kind of waiting for some things to get resolved and ironed out before they move forward with it. So it's still happening, and it's kind of imminent, but we did miss the target, and that's just because of the all the crap going on in China. So that's coming. Also, at the end of this month, Pop Network will be releasing their masternode mainnet, and then of course either later in the year or into 2022 their normal mainnet. And we're not 100% Pop Network. You guys know that, but it's one of those coins that are so inexpensive to get in. It's still like, it's before mainstream, and it's got a chance to do some great things. And I would just like everyone to be a part of it, or at least have that opportunity to get in before it takes off. Like I said, just do your own research. I'll never go tell anyone to buy a coin, but they are fighting an uphill battle. Like, the thing is though, is that Pop Network focusing to become the decentralized streaming networks for you're basically decentralizing Netflix, decentralizing YouTube, anything that streams, and they're going to be rewarding the content creators as opposed to getting our pay or rewards through third party people, like the way YouTube does with Google and that sort of stuff. So anyway, just take a look at it if you hadn't seen it. You might got to be interested in it. But also, before I head out, 2 weeks ago, I said the same thing about Vechain as I'm going to say right now. I feel as bullish on Vechain right now than I ever have back in late January when I told everyone, when it was about 2.5 cents, and I was stressing to everyone how I felt about Vechain, how it was suppressed, incredibly undervalued, stuff like that. I feel that way right now, even though it doesn't look like it. But man, excuse me. The truth is, with Vechain, Proof of Authority 2.0 is imminent. My understanding is at the end of the month or the beginning of July, whichever it is. And we all know that Salesforce has successfully tested Vechain, Vthor's blockchain, about a month ago. And while it's not being reported, my assumption was that there are tons of companies and projects that want to move onto the Vechain blockchain, but I think are personally waiting for Proof of Authority 2.0 to launch, because like I said before many times, I don't think you'd want to launch into a blockchain and then have the update happen and then have to make changes. So while Salesforce hasn't come, we haven't heard any more news about Salesforce, and I'm not trying to start any rumors. I'm just want to clarify. I'm expecting that any of these major projects and these sort of things that had been successfully tested in the past might be waiting for the POA 2.0 to happen. So don't forget, we have V Exchange 2.0, we have Proof of Authority 2.0. As soon as that happens, that means DeFi is coming. We're still not on Coinbase. I mean, whatever at this point. I don't even know if that's going to make a difference at this point. But so much happening with Vechain, and not to mention, this month, I think at the end of the month, they're supposed to pass along some information in regards to Vechain met with China's authorities and governance on the carbon neutral plan. Or they have this 5-year plan for carbon neutrality, whatever. And as we know, China banned Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff. But Vechain is the one that's allowed and is working with the Chinese government in this carbon neutral platform they're working on. So I'm thinking, if, you know, in the next month or two, all of this is going to be happening, there's a good chance the bullish nature that I have towards Vechain could really come to fruition and really show some substantial moves. Even if Bitcoin hasn't returned to what it was previously, I just think Vechain could probably finally start to break away from Bitcoin at that point. Because the truth is, I mean, you're working with an entire government on a platform and a project that Vechain already has working lined up in the Vethos system. So pretty amazing stuff. Not to mention tons of other things going on with Vechain, but you guys just take 10 minutes to look up Vechain and you'll see what I mean. Let me see. Let me go back and check up on this chat before I head out. Go take some more medicine. Let's see. Whoa. Gary Abel asking, where can you pick up pop? I tell you what, Mr. Gary, if you pop on over to the Breadless Assassin YouTube channel, I have a price prediction and informational video on Pop Network. It tells you the exchanges you can buy Pop Network and pretty much everything you need to know in terms of that coin. Okay. Matt B, welcome back. How do I feel about XRP and SafeMoon? Yeah, XRP is going to be fine. It's just with everything so down right now, it's kind of hard to see any progression that they've made in terms of the lawsuit and all that other stuff like that. So while everything's down, it's just not a lot of information, that kind of thing. But I do think it's going to be fine in the long run. And as long as banks and companies that worked with XRP in the past rebuild that trust and get back into that avenue, I think it's going to be fine. SafeMoon, like I said before, I always felt like Hodge Finance was the breadwinner of the Ethereum meme coins, and I always felt like SafeMoon was kind of the breadwinner of the Binance Smart Chain meme coins. That's just the way my mentality works. Doesn't mean that's how it is, but same thing, SafeMoon has an incredible community. Hodge Finance has an incredible community. I think it's just going to take some time for the market to correct before those meme coins can generate some more steam. Because when the market's down like this and stuff like this, you'll find a lot of people start to revert back to more fundamental coins because it's less risky, and with the uncertainty in the market, people are a little bit more tight, restrictive with their investing. That's just a personal opinion. Let's see. Welcome back, everybody that I didn't say hi to. Mr. G says, Vechain Resi project partners. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, they've been involved with that for a while. The ocean and sea cleaning projects and companies, they're logging all the information on the blockchain. So yeah, Vechain is partnered with Resi companies, kind of like humanity projects that they go and clean up the oceans and trash and problematic stuff in the oceans, and then they log how much they've collected and all that kind of stuff. So that's all being recorded on the blockchain right now. As far as Vechain is concerned, like I said, there's so much happening with Vechain. You almost can't report on it. It's so much is happening. And then ultimately also Mr. Sonny Liu normally lets the his partners, the partnering companies, report on the partnerships. So you won't really hear Vechain say who's who. You have to wait on the partnering teams to come out and say it. So there's still tons happening that we don't even know. But the huge things with the POA 2.0, potential of Salesforce, and then, of course, the Chinese government and their carbon neutral plan that Vechain's been meeting with the Chinese government about could be massive, and probably will be if it turns to a positive note. Okay, check Tailcoin. Yes, I looked into Tailcoin a while back. I actually owned a little bit of Tailcoin for a while. Cellframe. Yes, you know what's funny? A minute ago when I said that, I went off track, and I'm glad you brought that up. when I was talking about how I've met a lot of people and I have a lot of connections and discuss a lot of things a lot of times in the communities, the Pop Network moderators I speak with often, and I'm not gonna say his name, but there was a gentleman there who recommended a coin to me, and like I said, I wasn't gonna get into it real heavily because I needed to do some more research on it, and I'll do so over the weekend and report on it officially Monday. But since Mr. Buckley brought it up, the coin actually was Cellframe. It's a quantum resistant parachain that, as far as I know, basically their only competitor is KSM. I think it's Kusama Network. And as you saw, I don't know if you guys have seen what Kusama did over the last year, but it's a $500 coin now, and it's grown exponentially. And the thing is about being quantum resistant, in my opinion, is also the like I said, I'm gonna get into this in detail on Monday, but this is the coin that I was referring to coincidentally. It's got an incredibly low circulating supply and total supply, incredibly low. Which of course, always helps the value of a coin. They also do burns and whatnot. But the thing about being quantum resistant is the way I'm looking at this project and this coin from an investment standpoint is, excuse me, I'm not gonna buy into it and check it every day like I do my normal coins. I'm not gonna buy into it and look into it and check into it in a month. I'm not gonna buy into it and look into it in a year. Being quantum resistant in 10 to 15 years is going to be almost a staple. Like, it almost has to be. So what I'm gonna do, and again, I'll get into this some more Monday, but I'm gonna buy this coin right now. Last I checked was like around 90 cents. I'm going to buy a bag of it. Not crazy, but enough to where I'm comfortable, where I feel I've bought a lot, whatever that is to everyone, however you so choose. But and I'm gonna put it in my wallet and I'm leaving it. I might check it in 5 years or so, because it's gonna be a while before being quantum resistant is a thing. But the fact that there's only a couple projects right now that are boasting quantum resistance and that sort of stuff is very, very, very good for us that we found it this early. So that's the coin. Yes, thank you, Mr. Buckley, for bringing it up, and I will touch on it in detail Monday. So if you guys want something to look forward to on Monday's stream, that's probably going to be it, because like I said, that's the one that coin was privately messaged to me on a Telegram, and it wasn't your old spam Telegram kind of thing. It's a moderator that I speak with often on another coin, and it's a real deal thing. So as you can see, if you guys go check it out, it debuted in either late March or early April, and debuted at around $6. And then of course that was right when the market corrected and things just have been bad and whatnot. So being that it's below $1 again, ultimately time will tell if that's a great buying opportunity or not. But that's good enough for me to take a chance on, and I will be, but we'll get into that more on Monday. But like I said, still sick, still trying to do what I can. So I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time today to give us some views. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope at least today's stream was entertaining. And if you liked what you saw, don't forget to turn notifications on to catch any of our future live streams and videos and that sort of stuff. So thanks everybody for sticking it out today. Apologize for still being sick, and I will see everyone Monday. Thank y'all.